So welcome back everyone to another incredible episode of Chat with Dan here for today on the show. I'm already speechless. We haven't even started yet. We're having the best way to start up a badass Saturday because we have the show, the incredible, the amazing, the badass, the superstar, the legendary, the one and only, the incredible Skylar. Skylar, how are you today?
I am good. How are you?
Fantastic. What better way to have a badass Saturday than to be chatting with someone as badass as you? You know what I mean?
Hey, I feel the same way about you.
There you go. Pretty cool. Now, if you are new to the channel, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, follow. It helps a lot. But also in the description below, you're going to find all of Skylar's social media. Let's follow her. Let's share some love. And let's find out why she's super badass. We're on a mission right now. And without furthermore, let's jump in. So, I want to start out this epic conversation by throwing out the first question, which is, when you first stepped into acting, what did you think it would give you and what has it given you?
That's such a lovely question. I started acting when I was about 5 years old. I was always very drawn to performing ever since I was little. It actually happened to where my mom worked at this place called Ugly Duckling at the time, but it's now called Drive Time. And she just wanted my school to be close to where she was working. I mean, it just happened to be performing arts school that was right next. It was like about 3 minutes away. And I remember like the first day of preschool, we are like pulling up to it and she's telling me all about it. Yeah, it's like performing arts school, you get to like sing and dance and act and just making it all fun for me because I was super nervous. And I remember asking her like, will I be an actress now? Like, will I get to be an actress by going here? And she's like, oh yeah, of course, anything you set your mind to. But yeah, it's cool that like that's something that I always felt gravitated towards. My mom never had like an influence on it. Like she didn't put me into that school because it's something that she was trying to live through me with. Like I feel like that happens with a lot of child actors. Or not even that. Maybe it's just like, they just want to see their kid in that field, but it's not necessarily what the kid is naturally gravitating towards. And I feel like I have a cool story in the way that like I feel like I just always naturally gravitated towards it. And I feel like things were lined up in order for me to do it. Like it wasn't forced. So yeah.
And have you found that playing characters sometimes reveals truths about yourself you didn't want to face?
Yes, absolutely. I think delving into characters and getting into their story and kind of doing background work and stuff and like the emotional responses that you have to it is very telling, especially when you first do the character work. I feel like feeling emotions is something that I've always loved and I love growing as a person each and every day and learning more about myself. So this job is perfect for me because I love doing that. And I love delving into the difficult truths that, people don't want to face within themselves because the way that you react to situations is always very telling of what's going on deep down inside. And I think it's just such a therapeutic thing because acting is the art of being what it is to be human. So yeah, acting is my therapy and I feel like I'm constantly discovering more things about myself each and every day. I feel like I've grown so much as a human just being more and more involved in the industry and
Mm.
community, other actors.
And what are some of those things that you have learned for yourself and at the same time about humanity as well?
I feel like what I've learned about myself, it is my superpower to be authentic and not care what people think. And I'm very passionate about that. Just moving through life, showing your light and not caring what people think about that. And I think through acting, I've discovered how a lot of people hold back on who they truly are out of fear. I think that this industry instills fear in people if they allow it to. But I've grown so powerful within my heart of really getting into this field and seeing how it can negatively affect people and realizing that something that I want to promote within my career is authenticity and to fully be who you are, to speak your truth even if people don't like it, because you're put on a pedestal, you're in front of a screen, you're influencing others who watch you. I think if you're given such a screen, such a platform for people to see you, then you should put it to good use. And yeah, I just encouraging authenticity and to really feel your emotions and to not numb yourself, because that's another thing that society has become so adapt to. It's like whenever adults hang out, they're constantly just let's drink, let's blah, blah, which is great and it's awesome to be social and have some drinks, but it just feels like people are constantly numbing themselves. And I feel like acting is the one thing that really promotes you to like go through that stuff, as far as like a career. Like, I mean, being an artist in general is such a special thing. And on top of that, I have a book called The War of Art, if you would like to check it out. And it is yeah, just about like being a creative and kind of resistance. And so it's a good book. Kind of lines what I'm
Pretty
talking.
cool. Now, what's been harder for you? The moments of failure or the moments of success, and why?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. I feel like I would say it's a mix. I feel like it's interesting to think about success being difficult, but not at all, because I feel like, because I'm in the vertical space and that's kind of what I'm doing right now. And I feel like when you have like a show that does really well, and then like you have like people reaching out to you, oh my gosh, you inspire me so much, or I love watching you. I have found myself like putting a lot of pressure on myself. Oh my gosh, I have to have like an even better performance than like now I'm getting too much in the realm of like trying to keep this thing up. Like I feel like that's why there's like one hit wonders in the world who like put out really good hits, and then after all that success it's so intimidating and you feel the need to like do like one up that, when really it's just about creating something just as cool but also just as different. And I think there's like a process that comes with having great success, but also learning to not put yourself down after that, or also having great success and like reveling in that and then downplaying yourself and what you can do because you felt that high, and then you start to get a little lazy after that, you know what I mean? Because you're like, oh yeah, like it feels like a win, and then yeah, and then I mean failure, I think that failure is difficult, but I think if you're confident in yourself as an artist, within your heart, I think that failure will never put you down in a sense of making you want to quit or give up. I think that failure should always be used as like really, really good motivation to continue to work harder. I think that jealousy is a beautiful emotion. It's something that I've been struggling with a lot too, with certain things. And I kind of, in those moments when I'm having like such a negative emotion and it's really affecting me, I kind of like, I enjoy to like delve deeper into why that is and where that's coming from. And it's coming from a place of fear and knowing that you can be better and you can do better. So those negative emotions that we face and failure are so telling of where we are and where we need to be. And if we didn't have that, we wouldn't be working as hard as we do. We wouldn't have as much hope for the future because we already have it all. And what's the point of that? The great wonderful mystery of life is the imperfection of it all, and the fact that we're put on this earth to grow and achieve our purpose. And in order to do that, you have to go, on a lot of stepping stones to get there.
Do you think the pursuit of recognition changes an actor relationship with their craft?
I don't think you're a real actor if you're in the pursuit of recognition. I think, though, that social media does put a lot of pressure in that way. People relate recognition to getting more jobs and to security. So, I understand that, but I think if that's truly the end goal is to be recognized, that you're not going to get what you're supposed to get out of what you're doing. I feel like if you're coming from a fully authentic place of loving the craft and enjoying it, like I would act if nobody was watching. I would do this each and every day, even if I never became super successful over it, because this is what I meant to do. And this is what my heart has always felt so gravitated towards. And I think that that's what matters. And as far as like going out of your way to like, because a lot of people like they'll go to like these like things to like make connections with people and to whatever. And I think that that's cool. Sometimes networking in my eyes seems like it's just not like a completely authentic like interaction, and it's kind of like you're trying to get something out of somebody, which I think that if you're meant to do something, if you're fully aligned, all you need to do is be yourself and gravitate towards the energy that appreciates your light and enjoys you, and you will be as successful as you're supposed to be in this lifetime.
The more you do that thing you are passionate about, the right thing you were supposed to do, eventually the right people will come, and eventually the right people will like it and will kind of congratulate you on that because that's just the way it is, right? When you are on the right spot, eventually the right things will come. Sure, it takes a lot of hard work and a lot of moments in which you are desperate, but it's just part of I try to take them as part of the process, and at least they don't taste that bad sometimes. To be like, okay, so maybe this thing that happened to me or something, it's just part of the things in which I can become better at it. And as I was saying, eventually the right people come to who actually values what you do, which makes it great. And it actually makes you feel that you're actually on the right path.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't feel like it's something, yeah, I think like also like obviously work hard for what you want, but I don't think you should ever need to use people in order to climb the ladder like that. I think you work hard and that speaks for itself. And yeah, whatever's meant for you will come to you. Period.
What's the most beautiful lie you've had to tell on screen, or the most painful truth you've had to embody?
Playing somebody who seems a certain way, but there's a lot more going on under the surface than what meets the eye because it seems so beautiful, but really there's a lot of different inner workings. And I feel like it's cool when you get to show that in like little like mannerisms on screen or little decisions and choices that you make that it kind of pulls people in and kind of has them wondering like, is this person really who they say they are? Or do they have good intent? I mean, it seems fine, you know? So that's like how I can translate that as far as the character. Most beautiful lie, most difficult truth. Difficult truth, I think that has me thinking about myself and it has me thinking about how sometimes you're so vulnerable in front of the screen and you come out, you know? Like I had this vertical that I did and there was this one scene in it that was I've never had a scene like it. It was really, really, really there was some spiritual connecting going on there with me and my scene partner. Like we were tapping into some deep trauma somehow. And there was a child on set and he was in the scene and it was perfect for the scene because me and this guy are having a very heated argument and it was very toxic and there was a lot of like pull and push in there. And after I kind of asked like the kid to come with me, like, oh come on with mommy, like let's leave. And the kid, he wasn't on camera or anything. It wasn't his coverage, but he was genuinely scared of the anger that I was showing in that scene. And I felt so embarrassed and I felt like I traumatized him. I felt so rawly vulnerable in that moment. And I was scared that these people on set, not even the kid, but just everybody saw that dark side of myself that I hold within that was tapped into with the scene. I mean, it worked for the scene, it was great for the scene, but I knew that it was a very dark truth of myself. That made me feel so exposed. And I would say, difficult truth. It's just, yeah, and that goes back to getting to know yourself through roles and the ways that you can I mean that was a magical moment. I'm really excited for that one to come out. That was magic because it's like it's so me and the lead after that scene we're both like, are you okay? And I was like, are you okay? And we're just like we had to like go on like the chairs by the pool and just like lay there and stare at the sky. Like it was traumatic, but it was like those are the moments that it's like I see myself so clearly for who I am, even the negative parts, but I love it. And this craft makes me love my shadow side, as vulnerable as it is. It makes you appreciate every single aspect of yourself, even the negative, shitty parts, you know? And it's really cool.
If storytelling is a mirror of humanity, what part of humanity do you hope your work reflects?
I hope my work reflects the part of humanity that doesn't feel adequate, the part of humanity that wants to hide. I hope that my work inspires people to fully be themselves because I think in humanity, it's a big thing for people to hide who they are, like all throughout their life out of fear. And I hope to inspire people to be completely who they are and not ever have any kind of doubt in their mind about that and to just move through life sharing their light without regard of anybody else. And I think that that's something that, especially with social media and stuff, is always going to be a challenge for people. It's a challenge for me. I'm not perfect, you know, it's just like, but I think that's just the number one thing that I see every day when I'm talking to people, when I'm having conversation, when I'm on social media. It's just like everybody is so scared to be who they really are. You know, there's a lot of insecurity, there's a lot of comparison. And I hope that my storytelling somehow inspires people to realize that the most beautiful gift that they have to give to this world is to be a fully authentic version of themselves without any kind of fabrication out of fear of what others think, because who cares what others think of you?
What is the cost of vulnerability for you? Not just in front of the camera, but in life.
Well, the cost of vulnerability is the possibility of people not liking you or seeing you in a negative, dark light or whatever it may be. Maybe you have a bad moment, outburst, or whatever it may be. I think that that's fully what it is. I mean, because in all of our communications with people, we're trying to escape that vulnerability, and I feel like a lot of the times people get very embarrassed of it. Like they'll start talking about like a sad story or something that they're going through, and then they kind of retract because they're like, oh, I don't want this person to like use that against me, or I don't want, like, I want everybody to see me in this wonderful light of like, oh, she's such a good person. And then they'll want to hang out with me and then I'll be included and nobody will leave me out of things. And I just think, yeah, the cost of vulnerability is not being liked. And I think that that's something that I've worked on a lot. And I think that like when I'm in situations and I'm not feeling it or whatever. Or maybe I'm a little sad in that moment, or maybe I'm a little irritated. Like I find myself caring a lot less of ever holding back and feeling that because in turn I'm not being myself and speaking my truth. And I think that's the most important thing. And I notice when I'm like that around certain people, I mean, of course, it's getting rid of the ones that aren't meant for me and the ones that are meant for me. You know what I mean? And it's scary because some people might be like, ew, she's weird. Oh, she's like she has like problems. I don't want to be around her. And then now I consciously know that people don't like me. And I think like a big part of something that I've always wanted to do in my life is inspire people and to help them. And so that like really like attacks that part that wants to help and wants people to see the beauty that I have to give them and the knowledge and the whatever. And it makes me feel, it attacks me and makes me feel unwanted, I guess, and undervalued. And that's a scary thing as well because you can, that can spiral and you can get in your head. And yeah.
I mean, it's challenging for sure, and I think especially now in this crazy day and era we're currently living in, that I sometimes think that as long as you stay honest with yourself, and I think that connects with what I was saying before, that eventually the right people will come. And I do think that with life, sure, you're gonna meet people in which you can totally tell if they're fake, or you just don't want to connect with them for any reason, and that's fine. It's not personal. It's just the way it is. And I do think that the more honest you are with yourself, the more comfortable you are, regardless if people like you or don't like you, because I sometimes think that that is kind of a irrelevant. That doesn't mean, yeah, how much you are valuable as a person because of what others might think about you. At the end, it's all about being honest with yourself because it's your life, it's you, right? And of course that it's easier said than done, and nobody likes being rejected or things like that. But I do think that the less you get the chance to don't listen about those kind of critiques or opinions, and the more you focus about the opinions you have from yourself or with the circle, that it's kind of a safe place, the better things will come. Yeah, I mean, haters gonna hate. You know what I mean? So
Yes, absolutely.
now, do you believe your art will outlive you? And if so, what do you hope it says?
Yes, I do think that I'm here to make an impact and to inspire, and I do think that it'll be here after I leave. And I think hopefully it'll leave the message behind of just again like being who you really are. I have a tattoo. It says "Come as you are." Yeah, just being who you are and not letting, 'cause, like people grow up and they have like these parents that are like emotionally abusive, or like I feel like I was gifted with a mom who always encouraged me and told me that I can be anything that I want in this lifetime. And I feel like a lot of people are given the burden of an upbringing of not being accepted or people not believing in them. And I just think a lot of people fall victim to allowing that to affect them and to hurt them, instill and create a lot of fear within them. And I hope the message that I leave is finding yourself and who you really are is the greatest gift that you can give to everybody around you as well as yourself. And I guess that you can achieve anything you want in life. You have a unique, beautiful thing that you bring to the world, and nobody else can copy that or reciprocate that because that's your unique thing. And everybody has a unique light. I mean, there's no point in ever comparing. Use others as inspiration, but to compare, that's just no good because it'll just create the feeling of needing to replicate or do what that person is doing or follow their path when that's the last thing that you should be doing. But it's difficult. And yeah, I hope that I leave behind the message of living a fearless life, allowing fear to guide you, to be a friend of fear, as you will, rather than to push it away and to allow it to guide you. Hold it near and dear and don't let it control your life, but yeah, let it guide you.
For our next section, Speed round question, yes, no, pass, or pass super simple. Can ask a couple of questions in which you can only answer yes, no, or pass. You ready?
Yes, no, pass. Okay.
So, do you believe every role changed you?
I want to like elaborate. Yes.
I'll tell you what. You get the chance to elaborate in one
a
question.
short elaboration. Okay. I feel like I've discovered more pieces of me within every role that I've played. Yes.
And just to ask, what kind of pieces would it be? Just to be curious.
Just deeper facets of what make me who I am, and understanding why I do things, and why I'm so passionate about other things, and you discover that through characters because you're living separate lives that aren't your own, but yet every single character that you play should be an extension of who you are. So within playing these, living these lives, and being in these worlds that you never would be in the real waking life, is to discover a part of yourself that maybe you never would have even had the chance to.
Who is the Skylar outside of acting?
Outside of acting, I would say a healer.
I'm
To be
speechless.
short and sweet.
I'm gonna drop the mic basically because you're killing everybody. Now, switching to our next question. Have you ever turned down a role you still think about?
No, because I can't think of anyone.
Okay. Do you think rejection is a gift?
Yes.
Is acting more about truth than talent?
Yes.
Is starting small underrated?
Yeah, because everybody wants to immediately be at the top, you know? Yeah, I would say it's underrated, and it's not as much celebrated as it should be.
Have you ever felt more at home in a character than in your own skin?
Yeah.
Do you believe success without pain exists?
I think pain is just a part of life in general. So I think with or without success, there's always going to be pain.
Have you ever considered leaving acting behind?
Nope.
Do you believe patience is more valuable than speed in a creative career?
Yes, absolutely.
What motivates you? You know, we all have those days that basically we just want to quit. It's inevitable, happens to all of us. So, how you stay positive on a day that, is one of those days in which you're like, ah, shit.
I think I always go back to the moments that I felt most loved within what I do and the most aligned with what I do, and reminded myself of that's why I do it. And I never want that feeling to go away. And this craft is the only time that I ever feel that. And that's not something that I'm ever willing to sacrifice, even in my down days. So I think that the down days are used to redirect you to be stronger and to build you up and aid within your growth. Because if you don't have those days, you're not growing. You need to have those days.
And my last question here, so we can all enjoy and relax after an epic conversation here. So, what do you think that could be the best title for this episode?
Maybe the beauty of being human, or allow light and darkness to guide you, or I'm so like hippie lulu. So I'm thinking of just like very like I'm thinking of like the themes of like this conversation, and I feel like a lot of the themes have centered around alignment, authenticity, and like life path and purpose. Something aligning with that. Fear of vulnerability, something along those lines. I've always been a very much visual artist.
So, with authenticity, vulnerability, in between those lines. Check this out. Super simple. Got it. When vulnerability becomes art.
Yes. Yeah.
Either when vulnerability becomes art or vulnerability on stage and beyond.
I like the first one. With vulnerability becomes art.
Sounds good to me. We have a title.
Yeah.
Sounds
Cool.
like a franchise to me. Who knows? Maybe at some point we just have said the next big name for this big production which you're gonna start in. Who knows?
Yeah.
Pretty cool. I mean, at the end, what can I say? You know, the fact that you're doing what makes you happy, that's super cool. I mean, we all know that focusing on something outside a typical 9 to 5 takes to be like a little bit painful sometimes and annoying. But hey, you're making it happen. But here's the thing: you're not also giving us cool characters and cool stories and all of that. You're showing that dreams are possible, and I think that is something super positive. And I think positivity and good vibes is something we desperate need right now in this crazy day and age we currently live in. The fact that we can rely on people like you who are doing something because it's your passion, because it's what you want, as you know, it's your journey. It's amazing, and it's just badass. Now I discover why you're badass. What can I say?
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Totally. Because yeah, I mean it's difficult, but as I said here, it's people like you that, at least to me in this world, makes me wake up every morning and be like, you know what, if they're doing it, I can do it too in my own way. But hey, it's that is what it's all about, to get inspired. Who people out there who are showing us that dreams are possible, no matter how difficult or bad things might be in life in general. They are showing us that it's possible, that you can actually make it happen. So don't feel sad and just push forward.
Very true. Absolutely.
So that's pretty cool. So I want to thank you so much for making this happen. I do want to thank also those who stayed the whole episode. Let us know what you think in the comments below. But by this point, come on, you should know why Skylar is super badass. So let's share some love. Hashtag Team Skylar. And again, thank you for making this happen. Keep shining out there. Keep rocking. Keep doing what you do. And I'll definitely be seeing you in the next one.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right.